Welcome to the People in Professions podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Shailesh. Join me as I speak to people from varied walks of life, from scientists to street vendors, from engineers to artists, from businessmen to influencers, as I try to uncover how they became what they are and how they are creating growth across industries. This is a podcast about people, their professions, their lives, their struggles, their goals, the opportunities that made them, and so on. The reason for this podcast series is that I believe you can learn a lot from people and the circumstances that drive them. And this information cannot be gained from books or the internet. This can only be learned from people's journeys and their understanding. So you can find the episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, our website, and all of these details can be found in our show notes. So join me as I talk to people and help me build this human library. Hi everyone, welcome to the People in Professions podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. I remember Pooja Khanna from her words actually. Students need encouragement than instructions, which I think very well sums up our approach to handling youth. She's a career coach, an academician, a research scholar who helps students cross that bridge from college to corporate. She uses various tools, by the way, be it counseling, employability, skill development, career coaching, and so much more. She is now the founder of Find Your True North, an ML based career coaching platform through which she wants to make career coaching accessible to the remotest parts of our nation. From a career spanning over 17 years, of which 9 plus years have been in coaching individuals and teams on careers and development, I think she is the perfect person to talk to and understand that important transitionary period that every student has to go through and what a career in this means. Pooja ma'am, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you so much, Shailesh, for giving me this opportunity, this platform to share my thoughts and my work with the word. And especially because your podcast is focused on people and professions. So, learning about other people's professions is a very beautiful way to explore career opportunities for yourself. So, thank you for doing such a beautiful job for the youth. And I'm really happy to be here with you today.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, ma'am. So I want to start with the basics. Like, what does a career mean in student counseling?
Okay, so if we say student counseling, so it is
Mhm.
just a process of supporting and guiding students to help navigate their academic, personal, and career related challenges. So, when we are talking about student counseling, it is pertaining to specifically to students in academic setup. And when we talk about career coaching,
Mhm.
so career coaching, this actually can be to students, people who are already working, people who are, deciding or working on making transitions, want to pivot their roles, or they're looking for jobs after a break.
Mhm.
So when we say student coaching and student counseling, we are supporting and guiding students to make informed career choices and helping them in their academic and personal challenges in an academic setup, and where our career coaching can be applied to be various people, various spaces at different stages of their profession also.
Mm. Perfect. So when you say an informed career choice, what does that mean?
See, when okay, let me tell you, when I was young and when I was looking forward to, or I was making decisions that what should I study,
Mhm.
what should I plan or, train to work as. So there were hardly five options available to us in an Indian setup. One was you can be a doctor, engineer, a banker, a CA, or a family embarrassment.
Mhm.
See, from the age 3 4, whenever someone comes to your home, there is only one question a child gets. Bacha, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Mm.
So at that age you don't have any knowledge, any information. it adds to the stress and anxiety from a very early stage of a child, that then people start telling, okay, you can be a doctor, you can be engineer. The status uh,
mm,
in our society is decided by the profession you follow.
mm,
So there is that conditioning and cultural programming that happen at a very young age.
mm,
And in this cultural chaos, programming, peer pressure, family expectations, youngsters, they don't get to hear their own inner voice.
mm,
They don't dive into that, what are my interests, what are my values, what I really like. So
mm,
these questions are never answered, or we never support or motivate our students or kids to ask these questions also. Their voices are always snubbed, the curiosity is always snubbed by the curriculum.
mm,
There is a set curriculum, you are supposed to mug up all the formulas, all the question answers, and there is a set examination pattern, and you are supposed to be at the top of your assessment
mm,
formats and everything, whatever. That's our education system.
mm,
It doesn't provide you any scope to ask the question that, okay, what are my interests, what do I like, what are my options.
mm,
uh, like if I say that I like arts also, I enjoyed sciences also, I love music or design also, at a
mm.
young age I can have plethora of interests. So where should I go?
Exactly.
So there is no such support available in our education system,
Mm,
so where students can actually explore various options,
mhm,
experience different mediums, and then decide, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me.
mm,
So, therefore, when we say informed career choices,
mm,
so it starts from inside,
mm,
where we help a student, especially me and my team.
mm,
We work on a VIP coaching where we call it values, interest, and purpose based coaching,
mhm,
where we help students, youngsters, and professionals
mhm,
to dive deeper to understand their values, their
mhm,
personal values, their core values or acquired values,
mhm,
their career interests, and help them to understand what are the things they really like, appreciate, and how they want to contribute
mm,
to the world around them. What is their purpose?
mm,
So, with this VIP coaching model, we help them to dive deeper into their own personality, persona, and then, explore opportunities outside.
mm,
So, the intersection of your interests, your values, and your purpose,
mm.
and
But
then giving them the breadth of options further
mm,
ahead.
wonderful. I just want to play the devil's advocate for once.
Go ahead.
Thinking from parents' point of view, it's true that at least in India, the stability and monetary stability comes from engineering and other backgrounds. Is that true?
See, as a parent, I understand the concern that we parents want our children to be settled, successful, so that they should face any no problems in their life.
Mm,
As a parent, that's the objective motive of every parent, be it in India or anywhere.
mm,
That unconditional love, it sometimes force us to provide that kind of protected shield to our children, where
mm,
we actually forget that our children are through us, not for us.
mm,
Especially in India, there was a HSBC report also, I think around 7 8 years ago,
mm,
where they found that Indian parents want their children to be successful,
mm,
not happy. So the idea of happiness is related to success in India.
mm,
That how much money a child makes, what which brand this a person is working with, this status quo, the status attached to a profession.
mm,
That's why we have so like limited career options available to our kids.
mm,
Today, if we look around, there are more than 20,000 job profiles available to freshers,
mm,
entry level. But if you go to any school, like I go to schools and I interact with students and I ask them, okay, what kind of job profiles you are aware of,
mm,
you hardly get a list of 5 to 6 career options with the students.
mm,
Though we are living in this information technology, easy as the blink of eye, chat gpt can give you any answers you want,
mm,
but no one is actually looking or asking such questions
mm.
from chat gpt also.
Yeah.
Especially if I look around my like our 2 tier cities or 3 tier cities.
Mm,
In our major cities, of course, career coaching and career counseling is catching up, and you find some career coaches available. But even
mm,
if you go to our tier 2 cities or smaller towns and villages, there is no such uh, person available.
mm. No, I think this is very wonderfully said. There's another point to it. What if students don't know what they like? Because their immediate circle, they see only doctors, postmen, engineers, and others.
Yeah,
What if I don't know what I like?
that's where the role of career coach or a career counselor comes in.
Mm,
See, that's why even the National Education Policy 2020,
mm,
it talks about that there should be counselors in every school.
mm,
There should be career coaches around students.
mm,
But we don't have trained career coaches available. When you talk about Western world,
mm,
USA, for every 500 students, there is one career coach available.
mm. Wow.
But if you take that, say, like talk about India,
Mm,
we hardly have a team of 5,000 uh, people, career coaches available
mm,
for 1.5 million students around.
mm.
Just imagine the gap.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll dive deeper into a career of a career coach. But you also touched upon VIP method. Could you
Yeah.
give me an example of the VIP method and where it works?
Okay. So when I like try to understand my values, right?
Mm, mm,
When I take this career assessment, when I assess what are my values,
mm,
so the very prominent list of my values, I that on top was care.
mm,
So when I see care, a person whose value is care
mm,
is suitable for a job in hospitality,
mm,
in healthcare, in education.
mm,
Uh, in hospitality, I can be a relationship manager. I
mm,
can be a chef, a cook
mm,
also, because a baker.
mm,
I show my care with my baking, with my
mm,
cooking. As a person, I can show my care to my students as a teacher.
mm,
And as a doctor, I care for my patients. As a nurse, I take care of the patients in a healthcare system. So, the value care can manifest itself into different career options.
mm,
So, along with knowing my value, now I need to know that what kind of career interest I have.
mm,
Am I a social person? Am I an entrepreneurial person? Do I have artistic persona? Or I am that realistic person who loves to work with my own hands?
mm,
So my care in healthcare can be manifested using my interest. Let's say if I am a realistic person, I love to work with machines. I
mm,
love to work with gadgets.
mm,
So I can be a surgeon,
mm,
or I can be a technician. I love to play with gadgets and I have those skills that I can be engineer also.
mm,
But if I am an entrepreneurial interest, I have that I am a more of a coordinator. I can be an administrator in a uh, hospital,
mm,
in a clinic, or I can be administrator in a hospitality industry, in a hotel, I can be event manager also.
Mm.
So similarly, when I look, what is my purpose?
Mm.
What value I want to add to my surroundings, to my environment? What
Mm.
kind of problems I want to solve? What does my audience need from me? When we answer these questions, there's a list of questions
Mm.
with a coach. So when we sit together with the coachee, with the student, and we dive deeper
Mm.
into their values, their career interests, and then going on to knowing their skills, their strength areas to find their purpose.
Mm.
All this together will give you a roadmap.
Yeah.
And it is just a roadmap, one direction.
Mm.
You can take various routes to reach that destination.
Correct. Yeah.
So we are just, we act as a compass, we act as a GPS,
Mm.
where we can give you different routes like Google Maps.
Mm.
To reach one destination, there can be 3 or 4 routes available, and we can tell you where the traffic will be little less or congestion will be more,
Mm.
depending on the trends in the industry.
Yeah.
Where is the demand today? Which kind of industry is more flourishing?
Yeah.
If I, okay, because of the cultural programming or my parental expectations, I become a software engineer,
Mm.
but my value is care. So I can be a software developer, software engineer in the healthcare industry,
Mm.
where I can help build, create automation algorithms for some robotic company,
Mm.
which is building, machines to help disabled people.
Yeah.
Or as a designer, I can design ergonomical wheelchair
Yeah.
because I care.
Yeah. No, you're matching the core trait of a person to a profession and then creating a roadmap for that. More power to you, ma'am. You also talk about building a brand. So why should I build a brand?
See, when we're talking about building a brand in the context of a student,
Mm-hmm.
we're establishing a unique and positive identity for a student.
Mm.
It involves showcasing their skills, their
Mm.
strengths, their values, and their experiences to stand out in academic and professional environment.
Mm.
Building a personal brand helps students to create a distinct reputation.
Mm.
It's like your USP is being translated and being communicated to the people out there who can be a recruiter, an employer for you, a network who can refer you to a great opportunity.
Mm.
So, to help you to lead to better opportunities, a student who has a good portfolio
Mm.
knows how to communicate and network well,
Mm.
they will have more opportunities than others.
Mm.
Because see, what does advertising do for a new product or a new brand?
Mm.
It helps the world to know that there is a product so and so available, and will be noticeable by the industry, by the employer, recruiter. That's why LinkedIn profiling.
Mm.
Today we have millions and millions using LinkedIn, but everyone doesn't get a job using LinkedIn.
Mm.
There, if your profile is apt,
Mm.
you have built your brand using LinkedIn also, your posts talk about your purpose, then only you'll be recognized by the people, you'll be noticed by other people, then you create a following of yours. So
Yeah.
similarly, for a student also, how you project yourself to your teachers,
Mm.
to the industry, to the alumni. So it matters to have a USP, it matters to build a brand for yourself, for students also.
Not just the core technical skills, what you learn, you need to have your own USP and you need to know where you're aligned. So
Of
people
course.
end up with, we hear a lot of cases of job, I'm not satisfied this job, I'm not satisfied with this manager. All of this is some manifestation of what is happening in this phase.
Sure. Wherever you will find some unrest,
Mm.
dissatisfaction in a job,
Mm.
you will see that there is some misalignment of personal values with the organizational values.
Correct.
Your core strengths with the job profile. Maybe you are in a different role which you are not suitable for.
Mm.
So it is very important when you are taking up a role also. You
Mm.
should be very clear about what are your strengths, your skills, your interests, what are your values, and then match it up with the organizational values.
Mm.
That's why I ask my students to go through the job description
Mm.
really well, read between the lines, what are the skills required for the job, go for informational interviews,
Mm.
ask questions, seek clarity
Mm.
before making a decision.
Mm.
Because if once a decision is made, no matter you were looking at a good pay package, okay, this company, okay, the role is not okay for me, but the package is good.
Mm.
Okay, oh, I didn't like the role much, but brand has a name.
Mm.
It is known, so it will add to my status also.
Mm.
If I pick up a role because of these wrong reasons,
Mm.
I will never be happy while working there.
Mm.
So it is very important first to understand yourself, self
Yeah.
awareness,
Yeah.
and then doing the right research.
Yeah.
Your market research matters. Your awareness about industry trends, your true value, and the brand's value, where you want to go,
Mm.
matters. So you have to do the right matching.
Yeah. So all of this is from the student's perspective. You also told you help people uh, pivot from one career to another. Do the same rules apply to someone who wants to pivot at a later stage in their career?
Core remains the same.
Mm.
See, when I say that if we are not happy
Mm.
in a role, then only we would like to pivot, or your role is becoming redundant,
Mm.
or maybe the industry is into transition, industry is in a recession.
Mm.
So we have to see there that am I learning continuously, because with technology things are changing really fast.
Mm.
Every day there is a new software, every day there is a new technology coming up,
Mm.
where the systems are taking away the complexity from your job role.
Mm.
Are we learning the systems side by side?
Mm.
So if I am feeling stuck in a role today,
Mm.
again we have to go deeper inside again to find out the reason, what is the root cause.
Mm.
And you will find the root cause only in these things only, that my values are not aligned
Mm.
with the organization, my values are not aligned with the job role, my interests are not being, my talent is not being utilized
Mm.
either by the organization or by myself.
Mm.
Or I have become so comfortable in the
Mm.
past 7, 8, 9 years that I have stopped growing, I
Mm.
have stopped learning.
Correct.
So the day I decide, okay, let's get back to the books,
Mm.
let's get back to the research, let's back what is industry. See, this is what career adaptability is,
Mm.
that I have to be concerned about the changes around me, because my concern will lead to curiosity. I am curious that what is happening in the industry, what are the new trends.
Mm.
Out of this curiosity, I start learning.
Mm.
When I learn, I equip myself with new skills. I take control of the scenario and the situation.
Mm.
And the moment I am in the control, I take the steering wheel in my hands of my journey, my car.
Mm.
I'm confident.
Mm.
Then, when the moment I'm confident, either I will get a promotion in whatever, wherever I am, or
Mm.
I will change.
Mm.
But with my new skills, with my new learnings, I'm confident to change also.
Yeah.
Then I am not scared of taking risks.
Yeah. No,
This
I think.
is the pathway of adaptability. These are the four areas of career, being career adaptable.
Mm.
That first you have to be concerned about what is happening around you,
Mm.
curious to learn
Mm.
about the changes, upskill yourself, continuous learning, and
Mm.
that learning will help you gain control. And the moment you are in control, you will be confident.
Mm.
You have the clarity. and
mm,
clarity gives you confidence then.
mm,
And then we are, easily, we are comfortable with taking risk, we are comfortable to transit from
mm.
one role to another.
Talking from the other side of it, all of this is from the student side.
Yes.
From the college side, from the company side,
Hmm.
when someone who hires at a high scale like Infosys, when Narayan Murthy comes and says that majority of the students are not hireable, or they don't, without training they won't be useful to us, do you think there's a huge college and corporate divide?
Uh, of course, when we say that academic institutions and their role in preparing the youth,
Mm,
and the organizations, when they consume these students, they take them in their roles, and they absorb these students and get work done from them. And especially these days, whatever report you read, whether it's World Economic Forum, whether it's Gallup, whether it's McKinsey or OECD,
mm,
50% of employers are saying that the youth doesn't have the skills to take up the roles immediately. They
exactly.
have to train students. So that is because our education system is not that quick to adapt to the changes that are happening in the industry.
Mm,
So it's a transaction between industry and the university systems or the education setup
mm,
institution system. So I'll say that onus is on both the parties.
mm,
If higher education institutions need to train themselves and learn that how the industry is changing, what are the new technologies,
mm,
they have to be very agile in evolving their curriculum.
mm,
Because once a curriculum sets, it takes like 3 to 4 to sometimes 10 years to change also,
exactly.
because there is a system,
Mm,
because these accreditation organizations, whether it's NAC, whether it's NIRF, whether QS star ratings, these have a set structure, and they ask you to do this paperwork and so advisories and all, which are very labor intensive, time
mm,
consuming, energy consuming, and this delay the process of change or evolution in
mm,
an higher education setup.
mm,
And then on the other hand, when I say industry, when they know that the workforce is going to come from these higher education institutions,
mm,
there need to be a partnership between industry and the higher education institution.
mm,
The industry need to send their people to higher education institutions to train students,
mm,
to tell them that change your curriculum,
mm,
these are the new things we want.
mm,
And there need to be a collaboration and a continuous partnership between both the parties if we
mm,
really want to uh, change our education system. And
mm,
Indian demography right now
mm,
has advantage,
mm,
because we are the youngest population, we have the youngest population in the world, working population.
mm,
64% of our population is in the working age.
mm,
But if we do not take care of the skilling part of our youth,
mm,
we will lose on this advantage.
mm,
We are already 10 years behind because of COVID, uh, a recession, and all other political reasons, economic downturn.
mm,
This is the time
mm,
that where we have to actually focus on developing our youth, skilling them,
mm,
equipping them with the right technologies and skills which are required for the industry,
mm,
and creating more jobs and
mm,
entrepreneurship avenues for our youth.
mm,
Because if we do not focus on these things
mm,
in these 2 3 years, we will be losing on to this advantage which India has right now.
mm,
So that's why it calls for that public private partnerships,
mm.
a lot of government role, policy is in place, it's about action now.
So talking about that, talking about the bridge between these two, how does third party services like Find Your True North help?
See, the idea of find your true north came from my research when I was studying
Mm,
Gen Z and
mm,
their transition to from uh, college to the job roles and adaptability
mm,
with technology. My
mm,
study started in COVID-19 pandemic only, right? When I see students lot of with lot of anxiety and stress that what will happen now, that recruitments are not happening, the market is in a downturn, there are no not opportunities. But there I saw, because of this, somehow there was fear, there was anxiety, but there was lot of learning. People quickly adapted. And I used to talk to engineers, core, those who are into core engineering. They said, why should we learn coding?
mm,
We are engineers, we are not software engineers.
mm,
I saw them doing courses in Python, data
mm,
management, digital marketing, and the pivoting was quite quick
mm,
over there. And I saw that anxiety and fear induced this adaptability.
mm.
So it piqued my interest into that, what are the things that can lead to adaptability, and how we have to ensure that we remain this adaptable throughout, whether there is a pandemic or anything. Have to be adaptable and resilience. That is the core skill required today, not by Gen Z but all generations.
Correct.
All generations. When I actually started working on this, then I realized that when I started that we I found out, okay, we don't have career coaches available.
Mm,
The requirement is huge, and we people are not thinking about such kind of professions.
correct.
So career coach is also one root cause of anxiety and stress, which is
Mm,
leading to poor mental health.
mm,
During COVID, when my students were coming to me and talking to me uh, fanatically that, okay, there are no jobs, we have invested so much, this was 3 years we have invested, now what will happen? Career decisions add to lot of anxiety and stress,
mm,
which leads to poor mental health.
mm. No,
So if we have career coaches around,
mm,
and we have a community of people, and technology help us to scale this process, and it helps us to speed up this process, so we will be able to help a lot of people in less amount of time, and create a community of career coaches, and bridge that gap or divide
mm.
quickly. So that is the birth of find your true north.
Wonderful. So, when you talk about a council of career coaches, who should be a career coach? What are the key traits of a career coach?
See, when I'm talking about a career coach, someone who has that empathy,
Mm,
compassion, and care for the people around, who can support them, encourage them to dive deeper, to find their north.
mm,
This person who knows their own north also, very
mm,
clear about their own purpose, that they are there to help and support, can uh, be a career coach, right? If you and continuous learning is important,
mm,
because you should know that how industry trends are changing.
mm,
You should be always learning something, and the learning comes from the student itself.
mm,
I see, when I was teaching engineering students, it was not a mandate for me to learn what kind of softwares they are learning in their classroom, or what are the various technologies they are learning. They used to tell me all these things.
mm,
I learned from my students.
mm,
It's just that I helped them, I encouraged them, I supported them to dive deeper into their finding their own strengths, and articulating that to the world.
mm,
I helped them to brand themselves and package that brand, and articulate it to the word properly.
mm,
So communication skills is also the key here.
mm.
empathy, communication skills, you know, ability to question.
Mm.
Because a coach's role is not to intervene in the thought chain of a person, of the coachee.
Mm.
Our job is just to question, so that the person can dive deeper and come up with the answers themselves.
Mm.
That is a mentor's role, that they guide them and they handhold them and give them the tools and tricks.
Mm.
But a coach role is to ask questions so that the person can find their own clarity.
Mm.
So if a person has this passion uh, to serve people with compassion, they have this empathy and good communication skills and zeal to learn continuously, they can be a career coach.
Mm. No, it's not rocket science, but it's that empathy that leads you to learn and then give it to others.
It's your own curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one other aspect of coaching is actually handling people. So, especially handling people at that critical stage of teenagers. Do you think it's very difficult to handle teenagers?
uh, if you know that the primary desire or wish of a person is to feel accepted
Mm.
as they are
Mm.
and get respect
Mm.
from the other side, you will be comfortable with any human being in this world.
Mm.
That's my belief,
Mm.
that you have to give respect and just accept the other person as they are. Don't judge,
Mm.
especially for a coach, whether it's a life coach or a career coach or a relationship coach. When you are in your coaching chair,
Mm.
no judgments.
Mm.
Sit with an open mind. You never know what the other person is going through.
Mm.
What is the background? What are the family conditions? What are the pressure the person is going through? Our job is to listen first.
Mm.
No, help the person to dive deeper.
Mm.
It may take 2 sessions to 3 sessions. It may take an year for you also.
Mm.
But you need to have that patience and persistence. That
Mm.
perseverance will lead you to build that trust
Mm.
with your coachee.
Mm. So,
So if
talking.
you know your subject, right,
Mm.
and if
Mm.
you are able, you have the right tools with you, you will be able to manage any age group,
Mm.
not only teenagers.
Mm. Yeah, talking about age groups, like you are someone who has done some studies in Gen Z and then career adaptability for Gen Z. There's a misconception that Gen Z are generally more disrespectful, they are less hardworking than the millennials. Do you see a trend like this?
I want to burst these myths, first of
Mm.
all, right?
Mm.
Uh, every generation
Mm.
has their own unique patterns and the way they evolve. When
Mm.
we talking about Gen Z, right?
Mm.
They are born with technology.
Mm.
They know, they have most of the Gen Z. The data says that this is the highest educated generation we have.
Mm.
Majority of Gen Z have access to schools and colleges,
Mm.
secondary degrees available to them,
Mm.
because finances are available, loans are available also. So
Mm.
it is the most educated, and when you have a aware generation,
Mm.
they will ask questions.
Mm.
They will question the status quo.
Mm.
So when someone question the status quo, we'll say they are disrespectful,
Mm.
they are rude.
Mm.
No, they are not rude. They are just seeking clarity and they are
Mm.
asking questions.
Mm.
So today, when we say Gen Z, so
Mm.
that's the age group, generation group from 1995, 97 to
Mm.
2012,
Mm.
right? So they are already in the workforce
Yeah.
from 4 5 years Now they are in the workforce. Say
mm,
we say someone started working at the age of 22, 23.
mm,
So they are in the first line, second line, and they are tech savvy.
mm,
They have digital skills.
mm,
And right now in the organizations and the institutions, there is not only Gen Z working, there are millennials, there are Generation X, there is Generation Y working together.
mm,
There are you will find at least five generations working together.
mm,
And this Gen Z has the most strong digital skills,
mm.
where Gen X, Gen Y, they will struggle with these tech skills.
Yeah.
So when Gen Z can do their job within 10 minutes or 5 minutes with the help of technology,
Mm,
and they have finished their task, you can't say that they're lazy.
mm,
You can't label them as lazy. They are smart.
mm,
They have technology at their hand. They know how to get things done.
mm,
And they demand respect from you
mm,
because they know something. So if you really want to earn respect from Gen Z,
mm,
give them respect.
mm,
Acknowledge their skills. If they're asking questions, provide them with answers.
mm.
I know this is the age of reverse mentoring today. If I accept today that I am technologically challenged,
Mm,
but I need to learn,
mm,
I shouldn't have any shame or any ego in asking a 21-year-old to teach me something.
mm,
So the day I am ready to accept that younger generation knows better than me,
mm,
they are more equipped, and I'm ready to learn,
mm.
there will not be such labeling available to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So it's about we being non-judgmental and open-minded and accepting people as they are, no matter what age group or which generation they belong to.
Mm.
So I believe in this.
Yeah, perfect. Talking about coaching, you also say that you want to experience that before you coach it to others. So, how has your life, your career trained you to be a career coach?
That's a long So why I became a career coach?
Mm,
Because I was that lost soul
mm,
who wanted the answers to those questions, that what should I do?
mm,
I am good at this also. I like this also. I was really good at arts.
mm,
I really love to draw. I dived into painting also. I took a diploma in interior decoration also. But
mm,
then I was good at sciences also.
mm,
My father wanted me to be a doctor.
mm,
But then when I reached these classes,
mm,
sciences, like I took PCB,
mm,
I was totally lost
mm,
there.
mm,
Chemistry was not for me at all.
mm,
So when I came home and told this to my dad,
mm,
he was upset.
mm,
And being a sensitive, emotional person, I went into my shell.
mm,
So that impacted again my academic, progress. So then I moved to humanities
mm,
with little cajoling, and the family accepted. Okay, no sciences for her.
mm,
I went to humanities. I flourished over there. I loved literature. I diverged into writing also, composing also, taking part in quizzes and theater, everything I did.
mm,
But then it came, okay, there is no career in it.
mm,
And I come from a, conservative, traditional family where women should not be working.
mm,
They should be homemakers.
mm,
So that again brought me to this indecision that no, I want to work, I want to use my talent. So there also I got married, I had a son at a very early age. So then I start looking for roles where I can be a mother, homemaker, and a professional side by side. So my own journey has been very, it took me 13 years to realize what my true potential and what my purpose is.
mm,
And I accidentally came to teaching.
mm,
But when I was there in the class, that was my happy space.
mm,
The youngsters around me, I learned a lot from them.
mm,
And I was teaching to class 3, 4th, 5 students at the early stage of my career.
mm,
And the best thing was that as a teacher, in my job responsibility, I had to visit my students' home once in a year.
mm,
So there, when I visit the families to understand the learning conditions, that why a child behave the way a child behave,
mm,
it gave me a lot of insights that whatever we bring to school, it comes from home also.
mm,
So slowly and gradually, my learnings, uh, the observation of human behavior, how
mm,
we learn, what are the things that hinder our learning, slowly and gradually it brought me to soft skill trainings, employability
mm,
skill trainings at a
mm,
university. There I interacted with engineers, managers, academicians, researchers. Then it broadened my horizon.
mm,
Slowly and gradually I started going deeper, studying more about these things,
mm,
did some certifications, some trainings into it.
mm,
And then, after 13 years of this detour,
mm,
said, I have arrived. Okay, now this is what I want to
mm,
do.
mm,
That was around year 2015,
mm,
where it was like, okay, now this is what I want to do.
mm,
So at that day, I said, okay, I am going to be employability skills trainer. I am going to be a career coach.
mm,
So because there was no coach available to me, there was no guiding star for me. And I, through my own experiences, my own learnings, trials and tribulations, I have uh, realized that what should I do.
mm,
So just to ensure that my students around me, they should not face, or I should cut the chase for them.
mm,
I should ensure that whatever I went through, they
mm,
should not.
mm,
At least we now we don't have that time
mm,
with us. We don't. Time is money.
mm,
Time is all the energy.
mm.
So we should not waste that energy.
Yeah.
So this is how I reach here.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Uh, you always say you're a multi-potentialite. So, in this era of specialization, what do you think is more employable, a generalist or a specialist?
See, when I say that I'm a multi-potentialite,
Mm,
uh, I told you that as a child, I was interested in
mm,
arts also, sciences also, so little of designing also. So I was always, but embracing my diverse interests
mm,
required overcoming the fear of not fitting into that conventional mold.
mm,
So when we say interdisciplinary studies or collaborations,
mm,
today when we say
mm,
AI is applicable to any given form of life, part of life of a
mm,
human being, be it
mm,
education, healthcare, defense, automation, whatever you say.
mm,
So, as a person who is not a specialist but a generalist,
mm,
right? I know that I can easily transfer my skills to from one area to
mm,
another area.
mm,
So, in a word that often celebrates specialization,
mm,
a journalist have a vital role to play
mm,
because journalists possess the ability to synthesize knowledge from various domains, fostering innovation and adaptability,
mm.
especially for entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship not as business, entrepreneurship in any job role also.
Mm,
That proactiveness,
mm,
risk taking ability,
mm,
coordination between various teams and various roles,
mm,
bring them together to
mm,
actually build something innovative,
mm,
creative to solve problems,
mm,
real life problems.
mm,
We need a journalist to lead
mm.
a group, a team of specialists.
Correct.
So here, knowing your area, being specialist is good,
Mm,
but that's what we say. Now, technical skills, they
mm.
help you to get the job,
Yeah.
but your soft skills,
Mm,
not soft skills, they are your smart and sharp skills. Your
mm,
smart and sharp skills help you to do a job well.
mm,
They help you to communicate, they help you to articulate, they help you to collaborate and coordinate things to bring your ideas.
mm.
So one has to be both a journalist as well as a specialist.
Yeah, I think very nicely put actually. So this leads us to our last segment, where I ask the same common questions to all of the guests. So the first of them is, what does work-life balance to you mean to you, and how do you strive to achieve it?
Work life balance, I don't try to achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to find life in my work also,
Mm-hmm.
and I take work to life also.
Mm-hmm.
So the I how do I say it, that I love my chaos.
Mm-hmm.
I am a person who is comfortable in a chaotic scenario also. At home, I don't have that OCD that everything should be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
No, if the food is not cooked well, I can have it. If there is little dust, I'm okay with it, right? Because self care comes first.
Mm-hmm.
My mental peace comes first.
Mm-hmm.
So at work also, I okay, I like the work to be done well.
Mm-hmm.
It need to be accurate and it need to be finished properly.
Mm-hmm.
It need to be presentable, but I don't go for perfectionism here. There is nothing called perfection exists, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I have embraced my chaos.
Yeah.
So that is my work life balance.
Yeah, that's a very unique way of looking at it. The reason why I asked this is, everyone asks for two questions: work life balance and then financial independence. So you talked about work life balance. So what does financial independence mean to you, and how does your current work help you achieve that?
Financial independence for me is confidence.
Mm,
Confidence to lead my life the way I am,
mm,
that I don't have to think about, taking a risk.
mm,
Uh, that okay, I want to try a new job. Because as a career coach, when I tell my students, take risk, learn new things, upskill yourself. So if I manage my finances well, which I am really bad at,
mm,
right? Uh, God bless my partner,
mm,
that he is the one who is taking care of that. But
mm,
having that support around you also is really very important.
mm,
That when you have this partnership where you complement each other, that if one can be balanced, who manage things well, and other can be little chaotic,
mm,
uh, but then that with that support, you are the one who can take risk also.
mm,
Because right now I am on the journey of entrepreneurship, which is a big risk.
mm,
But I know that if I fail also,
mm,
I have someone to fall back on. There
mm,
is support available to me.
mm,
And this courage has come after a long time,
mm,
because I believe that if you want to go ahead, go
mm,
far, you have to
mm.
go deep first.
Correct.
So when I say it took me 17 years,
Mm,
I've been working from past 17 years today, and I have learned and learned and learned and learned.
mm,
But I have started executing my learnings after, say, 15 years. It's been
mm,
2 years that I've been working on this idea, and I've taken it to a new job role also.
mm,
So to go far, we have to go deep.
mm,
And for that, you need to have a team.
Mm.
So team at home and team at your workplace also.
So
So
more about you on the entrepreneurship side. With that, what does success mean to you?
success means having a good team
Mm.
at home and at workplace also.
Mm.
See, success means that after 10 years of you know being interact like you have interacted with someone 10 years ago, and after 10 years the same person pings you and asks you that I want you to be on my podcast, then I can surely say that I have achieved it.
Yeah.
I'm there, and I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, you have. On the flip side, what does failure mean to you?
Failure, see, as a career coach, when we help our students, youth, other coaches to help them to dig deeper to their find their values, their interests, their purpose, right? We know that they are academically good and everything, but
Mm.
to achieve their career goals, they have to be persistent, they have
Mm.
to manage their time, discipline is required,
Mm.
action need to be taken by them.
Mm.
We try to help them, but if someone is not ready to help themselves, or they are not managing their time well, they are not working on their skill set, or so, then I see the waste of talent, waste of potential.
Mm.
So we see these stories also in our journey.
Yeah.
So that's failure for me, that oh, I was not able to support that person, because transformation comes from within.
Mm.
I can give the roadmap, that's it. Person has to drive their own journey, they have to be on their own journey. I can be just your partner on your journey,
Mm.
or we can just give you a push, we can fuel your vehicle in your journey. That's it, that's my role.
Correct. So, what has been your smartest career move till now?
Smartest career move, I'll say, as individual, I have been flowing
Mm.
like water.
Mm.
I believe in that. Whatever learning comes your way, whatever opportunity comes your way,
Mm.
take it up,
Mm.
learn. And yes, I have been continuously evolving my roles also.
Mm.
Like in my past 10 years in academia, I started as a soft skill trainer. From there, I moved on to specialize in employability skills.
Mm.
From there, I moved to be a manager in a career services
Mm.
department, where
Mm.
which gives me, a deeper knowledge of what students go through at the time of placements and what industry demands.
Mm.
That provide me with the industry interface. I did that for 3.5 years, and
Mm.
then I rolled on to role in academics as
Mm.
a professor, assistant professor.
Mm.
Did research more on career adaptability and vocational psychology, how we behave in careers, why we do certain things the way we do.
Mm.
And from there, spending 10 years in academia, just last month an opportunity came my way,
Mm.
and I took it,
Mm.
which led me to leave the comfort zone of my home.
Mm.
I have been at one city, one place from last 22 years,
Mm.
and one job for last 10 years.
Mm.
I left everything behind, came to a new city.
Mm.
For the first time in my 45 years, I'm living alone.
Mm.
I've never been to any hostel or managed my finances myself.
Mm.
So it feels like I'm trying to be that Gen Z
Mm.
who's just going to college, living alone, trying to learn how to cook your own food and reach office at the same time,
Mm.
and take up new challenges at a new role.
Mm.
and manage a team side by side.
Mm,
So I'm juggling with so many things, but I'm enjoying it.
mm,
So now I can tell my students, my coaches also, that when I tell them take
mm,
risk,
mm,
explore,
mm.
uh, I can do that more confidently today because I am doing it.
Yep.
I'm living it.
Yep.
So you can say that is more interesting right now for me
Yeah.
rather than say successful move. I don't
Yeah.
know it is success or not. I can't say this,
Yep.
but yes, it is quite a learning experience for me. Yes, and I'm learning every day.
Yep. Wonderful. So on the flip side, what would you consider as a career mistake, and what did you learn from it?
There is never a mistake. There is always a learning.
Mm,
Whatever went wrong,
mm,
uh, of course, it will feel bad at that time.
mm,
But at the hindsight, when we look back,
mm,
there was a lot of learning.
mm,
I can say this from my own experience that I failed at leadership 5 years ago. I couldn't handle, teams and all because I was immature also. But now when I look back, that experience has taught me a lot, that how to, manage your own ego first, how to handle a team, and how to take charge, like being a woman, how to be in a room full of men on a table and ask for your seat, create your own space over there and speak out. I was not that 5 years ago. And slowly and gradually, when I reflect and I pinpointed that what were the issues or where I failed, I started working on those areas. And today not only speak out or shout out also when something is going wrong or the way I want things.
mm,
So I'll say there's never a failure. There is always a learning
mm.
if you are looking for a learning.
Yeah, correct. So, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Take it easy. Everything will turn out well.
If anyone wants to connect with you, or wants to collaborate with you, or want to find out the services that you provide at Find Your True North, how can people reach out to you?
I'm available on LinkedIn as Pooja Khanna.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh, on any social media platform. I am on Instagram also. I am on LinkedIn also. You can write an email to me also. That is available on my LinkedIn. So this is how we can connect, we can collaborate, uh, we can find out ways to, learn from each other. Definitely.
So if there's any takeaway from this call, I want that to be the importance of career coaches and the dearth of career coaches that we have. And more power to you and Find Your True North. I hope more people find your services and use your services.
Thank you so much, Shailesh. Thank you for giving your precious platform to me and talking to the people and taking my voice out to the world. I hope it helps.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in anything that we discussed, or if you just want to connect with the guest, you can find the LinkedIn link in the show notes. Let me know what you think of this podcast. And please feel free to send me the details of people you know whose life and career trajectory can teach us something. I will meet you in the next episode. Until then, I'm your host Shailesh, and this has been the People in Professions podcast, aiming to build a human library.